Okay, I want to speak to the up-and-coming sound engineers, whether you're in school or you're right out of school or you're just getting started in this business. Um, be very careful who you allow to speak into your life, because there's a lot of so-called quote-unquote experts floating around our industry, but very few guys that are actually experts. So be super careful whose advice you take. This is why I don't beat gear reviews to death on my YouTube channel, because you can watch 5 different reviews on the same piece of equipment and get 5 different opinions. You don't believe me? Start a conversation about microphones one time. Everybody's got their favorite microphone and it's better than everybody else's microphone. And if you don't think so, you're an idiot and don't know what you're doing. That is sometimes the culture of our business. I think people spend more time trying to be the smartest guy in the room than what they do in trying to just actually execute their events correctly and make their clients happy. But I can tell you this, young guys, that kind of puffed up, ego-driven, pride-driven ego is never going to put money in the bank. You know what's going to put money in the bank? Showing up on time, working hard, bringing the right gear to the right room, understanding where you are, stay in your lane. Don't be afraid to ask the dumb questions, especially to the guys above you that have been in the industry a lot longer than you. They are a wealth of knowledge. Look, I would not be here today if it were not for some of the sound engineers who really didn't have time for me, and I was kind of a nobody on their radar. But that was okay. I understood that. I understood my place. I was humble in the fact that I was a nobody, because I knew I was a nobody. Some 35 years ago when I got into this business, you had to just go do it. There wasn't a bunch of schools to go to and stuff like that. You learned it hands-on. I was so desperate to just be part of that conversation, or to even have the privilege of being an ear in a circle of guys that are talking about the industry, talking about sound equipment, would go to guys, when we had downtime and ask questions. I wouldn't bombard them with questions to where they don't want to be around me and be that guy. But I would, slide a question in here or there. Hey, how are you doing this? Why do you do that? I wanted to learn, man. Learning will always go way, way quicker, and you'll get to where you want to go way quicker if you approach the conversation with a humble heart.